Before you can meet your future self, you must first step beyond the version of you that believes it is confined to a body, a story, and a timeline. So allow yourself now to become very still. Gently close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Not to control it, not to change it, but simply to observe it. Notice how the breath moves on its own. Notice how life is breathing you. In this simple observation, something profound is already happening. You are shifting from doing to being. Feel the weight of your body supported by the surface beneath you. Sense the subtle aliveness in your hands, in your chest, in your face. And then recognize that you are aware of these sensations. The sensations are there, but you are the awareness noticing them. Now gently expand that awareness. Notice the sounds around you. Some may be near, some far. Rather than labeling them, simply allow them to come and go within your awareness. The sounds arise in you and they dissolve in you. Now turn your attention to your thoughts. Watch them the same way you watch the breath. A thought appears and then it fades. Another one comes and it passes. Thoughts are movements in awareness, just like waves in the ocean. But you are not the wave, you are the ocean itself. You are the space in which thoughts appear. As you rest here, something begins to soften. The identity you usually carry, your name, your responsibilities, your memories, starts to loosen its grip. For this moment, you do not need to be anyone. You do not need to solve anything. You do not need to become anything. Let the past fall away. It is only a collection of memories arising now as thoughts. Let the future dissolve. It is only imagination appearing in this moment. What remains when you release the past and the future? There is a quiet presence, a spacious awareness, a sense of being that exists before every label. Stay here. Feel this openness? There is no edge to it. No boundary, just awareness, infinite and still. Now imagine that your body itself begins to grow lighter. Not disappearing, but becoming less solid, less defined. As if the particles that make up your body are not fixed, but vibrating, dancing in an invisible field. Modern physics tells us that what appears solid is mostly space, energy arranged in patterns. And in this field of energy, time is not a straight line moving from yesterday to tomorrow. It is more like a vast landscape where all possibilities already exist. Sense yourself as part of this field, not separate from it. The same intelligence that beats your heart is moving the stars. The same awareness looking through your eyes is present everywhere. Let yourself expand into that realization. You are not in the universe. The universe is in you. Feel the shift as you move beyond personal history, beyond age, beyond limitations. There is no before and no after. Here, only presence. In this presence, all versions of you exist as possibilities. The child you were, the person you believe yourself to be now, and the future self you long to become. They are not separated by time. They are patterns of energy in the same infinite field. Stay with this spaciousness. Notice how peaceful it feels when you are not trying to hold on to an identity, when you are not rehearsing old stories, when you are not anticipating what might go wrong. In this stillness, you are touching the ground of being. Pure awareness, the observer behind every experience. From here, you are no longer confined to linear thinking. You are no longer limited by the conditioning of the past. You are standing in the quantum field of infinite potential, a field where every possibility already exists as a subtle reality, waiting for attention to bring it into form. Allow yourself to feel curious, open, receptive. You are not here to force anything. You are here to witness, to remember that at your core, you are not a fixed personality moving through time. You are timeless awareness expressing itself as a person. Rest here for a few more breaths. Let the silence deepen. Let the sense of expansion become natural. You are not entering something new. You are returning to what has always been true. And from this infinite field of pure awareness, you are ready to meet the future that already exists within you. Now that you are resting in this open field of awareness, beyond the boundaries of your personal story, begin to sense something subtle yet profound. In this space, time does not move forward the way the mind imagines. There is no ticking clock here, no sequence of events unfolding in a rigid line. Instead, there is a vast landscape of possibilities, all existing simultaneously. What you call the future is not ahead of you. It is a potential pattern already present in this infinite field. Feel into that for a moment. Your highest self, the most fulfilled, abundant, loving, awakened version of you, is not something you must struggle toward. It is not waiting at the end of a long road. It exists right now as a vibrational possibility. Just as a seed contains the blueprint of the tree, your awareness contains the blueprint of every version of yourself you could ever become. Notice how liberating this is. If the future already exists as potential, then you are not creating something from nothing. You are selecting from infinite possibilities. In this field, every reality is like a frequency, and the version of you that lives in joy, clarity, confidence, and purpose is simply vibrating at a certain frequency. That frequency is available to you now. Bring your attention to the power of observation. In the world of quantum physics, the observer plays a fundamental role. What you observe, you influence. What you give attention to begins to organize itself. Awareness is not passive, it is creative. It collapses possibility into experience. So as you rest in this field, understand that your attention is the most powerful force you possess. If you continuously observe your past wounds, your limitations, your fears, you reinforce those patterns. You energize them. But if you gently shift your awareness toward the possibility of your highest expression, something begins to reorganize within you. The body responds. The nervous system responds. Your thoughts begin to align with a new pattern. Right now, without forcing anything, simply acknowledge that the future you desire already exists in this field. There is a version of you who has stepped beyond doubt, a version of you who moves through life with calm certainty, a version of you who attracts opportunities naturally, who radiates love effortlessly, who trusts deeply. That version is not imaginary. It is a potential reality waiting for conscious attention. Feel the difference between chasing a future and recognizing one. Chasing implies distance, lack, striving. Recognizing implies presence, alignment, inevitability. You are not running towards something far away. You are tuning into something already here. Let yourself sense that this future self is closer than your next breath. Not in physical distance, but in vibrational proximity. The only difference between you now and that version of you is the pattern of thoughts you repeatedly think, the emotions you repeatedly feel, and the beliefs you repeatedly affirm. Change the pattern, and you shift the reality you experience. Notice what happens in your body as you contemplate this. Perhaps there is a subtle expansion in your chest. Perhaps your breath becomes deeper. Perhaps there is a quiet excitement rising. That is the feeling of possibility. Stay with it. Do not analyze it. Simply allow it. Understand that the field does not respond to words alone. It responds to feeling. The future you are calling in is not drawn to your wishes. It is drawn to your state of being. So instead of asking, how will this happen? Begin to ask, who must I become to align with it? The answer is not found in effort, but in awareness. You are not bound by your past conditioning unless you continue to observe it as your identity. The moment you shift your observation, you begin collapsing a different possibility into form. This is not about pretending. It is about perceiving differently. It is about placing your attention on the reality you choose to energize. Imagine that every possibility in this field is like a radio frequency. You cannot hear all stations at once. You tune into one. And as you tune, that signal becomes clear, strong, and embodied. Your future self is broadcasting right now. The question is not whether it exists. The question is whether you are willing to tune into it. Feel into the certainty that comes from knowing the future is not random. It is shaped by consciousness. And consciousness is what you are. Not the personality, not the history, but the awareness that is choosing where to rest its attention. Let yourself rest your attention gently on the possibility of your highest expression. Not with desperation, not with impatience, but with quiet confidence. Like a gardener who knows that when the conditions are right, The seed must sprout. You are setting the conditions through your awareness. Stay here for a few breaths, feeling the truth of this. The future already exists as potential. Your attention is the bridge. Your awareness is the catalyst. Your state of being is the key. And in this realization, you begin to understand that you are not waiting for the future to arrive. You are allowing it to unfold from within. Now, from this place of expanded awareness, where you understand that your future already exists as a living possibility, allow something beautiful to unfold. You are not going to force an image. You are not going to strain to see. You are simply going to allow the field of infinite potential to reveal a reflection of what is already there. Gently bring your attention to the space in front of you, not with your physical eyes, but with your inner awareness. Sense that within this vast field, a presence begins to form. At first it may feel like light or energy or simply a subtle knowing. Be patient. Let it come into clarity naturally, the way a figure slowly appears as mist dissolves in the morning sun. This presence is you, not as you have been, but as you are becoming. The version of you who has aligned with their highest potential. Notice how this future self stands. Observe the posture. Is the spine upright, relaxed, confident? Is there ease in the shoulders? A softness in the face? Pay attention to the smallest details, because energy expresses itself through subtle cues. Look into their eyes. There is something different there. Perhaps a calm certainty. Perhaps a quiet joy. Perhaps a depth of wisdom that comes from having moved through challenges without losing presence. Feel that gaze meeting yours. There is no judgment there, only recognition. Notice what this version of you is wearing, how they carry themselves, the way they breathe. Every detail is a reflection of an internal state. This is not about external success alone, it is about coherence, alignment, a harmony between thoughts, emotions, and actions. Now become aware of the emotional atmosphere around this future self. What is the dominant feeling? Is it peace, abundance, freedom, love, confidence? Sense it not as a concept but as a vibration. It has a texture, a temperature, a rhythm. Allow yourself to feel it in your own body as you observe. This future self is not rushed, not anxious, not seeking validation. There is a grounded presence, as if they are deeply at home within themselves. Notice how they move. Even the smallest gesture carries awareness. Even stillness carries power. And now, instead of seeing this version of you as distant, begin to feel the invisible connection between you. It is like two tuning forks resonating at similar frequencies. The more you observe without doubt, the stronger the resonance becomes. You are not separate from this self. You are witnessing a different arrangement of your own energy. Allow this future self to communicate with you, not necessarily through words, but through feeling. Perhaps there is a message in their eyes. Perhaps there is reassurance. Maybe they are showing you that what you worry about now is temporary, that what feels impossible now is already resolved in their reality. If words arise, let them come softly. What does this version of you want you to understand? What belief did they release? What habit did they transform? What fear did they outgrow? Listen without analysis. Receive without resistance. Now notice something even more profound. As you continue observing, the line between watcher and watched begins to blur. The energy you see in them begins to awaken within you. The confidence you perceive in their posture subtly shifts your own posture. The calm in their breath begins to influence your breathing. Let this happen naturally. You are not pretending. You are remembering. The qualities you admire in this future self are not foreign. They are dormant potentials within your own awareness. Take a gentle step closer. Feel the space between you narrowing. You may sense warmth or light or a magnetic pull. There is no fear here, only familiarity. This is what alignment feels like. Stand face to face with this future self. Look once more into their eyes and recognize that they are not ahead of you in time. They are ahead of you in consciousness. And consciousness is fluid. It shifts in an instant. Begin to breathe in rhythm with them. Inhale as they inhale. Exhale as they exhale. Feel your heart sensing with their heart. the emotional frequency growing stronger, clearer, more embodied. And in this sacred moment, you realize something quietly powerful. You are not meeting a stranger. You are meeting a deeper truth of who you are. Let the recognition settle fully. You are looking at your own becoming. Now, as you stand before this future version of yourself, breathing in harmony, feeling the resonance between you, allow the final illusion of separation to dissolve. There is no distance left to cross, no gap to close, only a gentle willingness to step into what has always been yours. Sense that this future self begins to move toward you. Not in a dramatic way, but naturally, like two streams of light flowing into one another. There is no fear in this merging, because nothing is being lost. You are not erasing who you are are expanding it. As you take this step forward, feel yourself entering their space. Notice what happens in your body the moment you do. The posture subtly adjusts. The spine lengthens. The shoulders relax. The breath deepens without effort. It is as though your nervous system recognizes this frequency and says, yes, this is home. Now imagine that you gently step into their body, see through their eyes, feel through their heart, stand inside their awareness. Everything looks slightly different from here. The challenges that once felt overwhelming now appear manageable. The doubts that once seemed loud are quieter, almost irrelevant. Notice the internal dialogue of this version of you. It is not harsh. It is not self-critical. It is steady, encouraging, clear. The thoughts are aligned with possibility rather than limitation. There is an assumption of success, not as arrogance, but as quiet trust. Feel what it is like to think from this place. Bring attention to the emotional baseline. This version of you does not fluctuate wildly between extremes. There is stability. Even when obstacles arise, there is resilience. A grounded confidence that says, I can respond to this. Feel that emotional strength settling into your chest, your stomach, your entire being. Now become aware of the beliefs that operate effortlessly here. This future self believes they are worthy. They believe they are capable. They believe life is happening with them, not against them. These beliefs are not repeated as affirmations, they are embodied truths. Let those truths gently imprint themselves within you. Notice how decisions feel from this identity. There is less hesitation, less overthinking. Choices are made from clarity rather than fear. The body does not contract at every unknown. Instead, there is curiosity, openness, a willingness to act even without perfect certainty. Feel the shift in your energy, the way you carry yourself, the subtle authority in your presence. This is not dominance over others, it is mastery within yourself. You are no longer reacting unconsciously to old conditioning. You are responding from awareness. Take a moment to sense how this version of you relates to time. There is patience here, an understanding that growth unfolds naturally. Urgency has softened into trust. You are still inspired, still motivated, but not driven by lack. Action arises from alignment, not desperation. Now, let this identity settle deeper. Imagine that every cell in your body is receiving this new instruction, your biology responding to your consciousness. The old patterns of stress beginning to dissolve, the new pattern of coherence strengthening. Ask yourself gently, if I were truly this version of me starting today, what would change? Perhaps you would speak differently, walk differently, choose differently, love differently. Allow the answers to arise not as obligations, but as natural expressions of who you are becoming. Feel how different it is to try to become this person versus simply being them now. There is no strain in being. There is only awareness. And awareness is already what you are. Stay here for a few breaths, fully embodied in this future self. Let the feeling become familiar. Let it feel normal. This is important. When a new identity feels natural, it no longer feels distant. Understand something deeply now. Reality organizes itself around identity. When you change the story of who you are, the external world gradually mirrors that shift. Opportunities align, conversations shift, circumstances rearrange, not because of force, but because of resonance. You are not pretending, you are choosing which version of yourself to energize, choosing which possibility to collapse into experience. Let this merging complete itself. Feel that there is no longer a future you and present you. There is only this expanded awareness expressing through a body in this moment. Take one final conscious breath as this embodied self. Anchor the feeling. Memorize it. Let it become the new reference point for who you are. And recognize that you are not stepping into your future. You are allowing your true identity to step forward now,